तर आपण आज एक काम करूया. आपल्याकडे काही इथे मोठी माणसं आलेली, व्यक्तिमत्व आलेली आहेत की ज्यांनी खूप कष्ट करून, स्ट्रगल करून स्वतःचे उद्योग उभे केलेले आहेत, उद्योजक आहेत. आपण त्यांच्याकडनं ऐकणार आहोत आणि 5-10 मिनिटं म्हणजे तुमचं हे मर्यादित ठेवा, पण एक 5 ते 7 मिनिटात तुम्ही स्वतःचा अनुभव जर सगळ्यांना कथन केलात आणि त्याच्यानंतर मग आपण विल ओपन द फ्लोअर. काही लोकांना शंका असतील तर तुम्हाला विचारतील, सरांना खूप शंका, सगळ्या शंकाचं निरसन ते करतील आणि मग ह्याच्या पुढे नेक्स्ट स्टेप्स ज्या करायच्या असतील त्या आपण ठरवू. पण आपण सगळेजण स्वयंसेवक आहोत. आता व्हॉट्सॲप ग्रुपही आहे आणि सिंगापूरमध्ये कसं होईल की थोडं कॉम्पॅक्ट असल्यामुळे आपल्याला अदनमधनं भेटणं सुद्धा शक्य होईल. अमेरिकेसारखं नाही आहे एक तिकडे एक इकडे वगैरे असं नसतं. इथे आपल्याला भेटता येईल. तर आपण पुढे हे आणखीन कसं नेता येईल याच्यावरती अगदी निश्चित विचार करू, डिस्कशनही करू. तर आपण पहिल्या म्हणजे आजच्या ज्या पाहुण्या आहेत, पूर्णिमाजी कामत, तुमच्याकडनं ऐकूया.
फक्त 5 मिनिटं
थोडं इकडे थोडं रेकॉर्डिंगसाठी बस.
थँक्यू सो मच आणि थँक्स फॉर द लॉन्च ऑफ गारजे मराठी आणि फॉर दिस अपॉर्च्युनिटी टू स्पीक ऑल्सो. मी मराठीतच बोलेन पण थोडंफार इंग्लिश, कारण माझी मातृभाषा जी आहे ती कोकणी आहे. बॉर्न अँड ब्रॉट अप इन मुंबई ओनली.
कोकणीमध्ये बोला.
कोकणी इज ऑल्सो अ व्हेरी स्वीट
आम्हाला दोघांना कळते आणि कोणाला.
आणि थँक्यू आनंद कानोजी फॉर गिविंग दिस अपॉर्च्युनिटी. आणि ग्रेट, I'll do a quick one. Santosh sir, it's almost 30 years in Singapore now. I worked 10 years in corporate life. Started with luxury watches with the Japanese and Swiss guys. Nantar it was year 2000 when I joined the e-commerce industry. तेव्हा ते खूप बूम होतं, you know, all startups, e-commerce and all. And was lucky to travel globally everywhere. आणि लहानपणापासूनच एक आवड होती की तो जो किडा असतो ना एंटरप्रेन्योरशिपचा, की आय वॉन्ट टू डू समथिंग ऑन माय ओन. आय डोंट वॉन्ट टू वर्क फॉर समबडी. बट वेन यू आर एट द एज ऑफ like 24 to 30, I was in a dilemma. I'm sure it will resonate with some younger people that what do you do? Okay, I want to do something on my own, but whether I should do A or B, you know. So that time I didn't have any mentor or anybody to speak to. It was just in my mind. After working 10 years, and I've done my graduation back in Mumbai and mass comm and journalism. Mumbai मध्ये असताना, you know, it was, see, today the world is completely different. When we just finished our college, there was no, you know, it was only दूरदर्शन, आमची माती आमची माणसं, आणि ना हे सगळे चॅनल्स नव्हते किंवा मोबाईलही नव्हता, काही नव्हतं. सो इट वॉज मोर ऑफ कम्युनिटी आउटरीच अँड लिव्हिंग. आपल्याच बिल्डिंगमध्ये 15 ऑगस्ट सेलिब्रेट होतोय, गणपती उत्सव होतो. सो आय वुड हॅपीली व्हेरी पॅशनेटली मराठी नाटकात कामं करणं, MC होणं. बाय डिफॉल्ट, यू नो, आय यूज्ड टू लव्ह द स्टेज अँड डुईंग ऑल दिस थिंग्स. सो you know, by default you don't get anybody, so Purnima is there. That was the feeling in the building. That way I grew up with all this fun and enjoyment. Basically there was a joy which I felt in everything what I did. So they thought navta ki oh, whether it is going to work in the future. It was pure joy and passion when growing up. So I think Singapore, right, like what rightly Anandji said, it is such a superb gateway for ASEAN and for the full world. You know, we are like really in a very balanced place, I should say, like stable government, great infrastructure, everything. So after finishing my 10 years, in the meanwhile, I was very lucky to get an admission at NTU for doing MBA, where they would ask for GMAT score compulsory, but they just, like, you know, in the interview itself, they said, okay, no need of GMAT. So for me, it was like, wow, that's a great thing. So I left my corporate job, finished my studies in international business, and then I started an event management company, which is now 19 years old. But I should really tell you the struggle what happened that time. For me, I didn't know the word struggle. It was just passion. But of course, my husband was like, are you crazy to leave a good salaried job? Apan typically te asto na, manje to jump into something, it's like you're leaving your salary. And so I said, no, there was no vision, no mission, nothing. I just started out of, you know, just the confidence that I'll start something. And what do I like to do? I like all this culture, entertainment, media. So thought about, you know, there was no event management company in Singapore when I started. So literally 19 years we created like a monopoly, starting from advertising agency to doing everything into entertainment. So proudly I can say, right from A.R. Rahman to Asha Ji to SPB, Sonu Nigam, we have done all. But the name to fame was doing all PM Modi's events in Singapore with the High Commissioner. So I felt very proud that every effort was recognized. But behind the effort, of course, the smile is there, but a lot of hardship, because in event management, unlike your tech or your AI or whatever you call it, there is no appreciation. Okay, the clients are very good, they appreciate it. But when you say, actually, you need money also, right? But I felt, I'm really telling this in front of you, I have no shame to tell this. As a woman entrepreneur, I felt ki being an Indian face, if they would have paid a $50,000, maybe for Purnima they are paying a $10,000. Why is it so? Maybe if there was a Chinese person here, they would have paid 100,000, because they always took us for granted. Arey, hamara charity hai yaar. You know, even to the matter I can say, even when we did events like PM Modi or ASEAN Pravasya Bharatiya Divas, which was $1 million event, but when it comes to Ideaz or a woman on national service, yeah. So end of the day, in the front, what happens is, wow, she must be earning millions, right? Hobnobbing with all ministers. And I'm like, what is this? It's just on paper, the goodwill is increasing. But if I go to a private investor, he'll tell me, show your balance sheet. And you're okay, you've done a $5 million project, but what is your bottom line? Is hardly anything. It goes into paying damn salaries to the employees. In Singapore, manpower is a great issue, Anandji. So manpower. So this is all okay. Forget all the struggle, but in that also I found a lot of joy, because very few such people get this opportunity. So I always thank the divine and also great support from my husband. But we are all service people, like you said. I'm not a Ambani's daughter-in-law that, okay, I have a lot of equity at home. So you slog, you earn money, you invest that. I should say that today the youth are really very, very opportunity, and a lot of opportunities they have, because you know about mentoring, you get, and US, I'm sure you get a lot of funds. But when I see, this is like a post journey, right? It's 30 years, so you can know my age also. We all have crossed 50 right now. So I should say, before Christ, after Christ. So I compartmentalize my journey as pre-COVID and post-COVID. So I finished my pre-COVID journey, everything rosy, but end of the day, bottom line, okay, a big question mark. Then comes COVID. It's all back to square one, where I started before 19 years. There was no contact, no physical. So event industry, media industry was totally gone. So now in 2022, when it all opened, I said, okay, so it's like again pushed back before 19 years, I have to start from zero. In that COVID years, I think I was super blessed, because I met a British guy called Matthew Spacey. And you won't believe, just Google Matthew Spacey. He has stayed 25 years in India, starting something called Magic Bus, a philanthropy organization. So learning from him, he has created a 1 million children impact. And they do a lot of, so I was like, okay, I mean, if somebody like him can do that, so I became the face of Magic Bus in Singapore, and I'm doing now multiple things, because I realized only doing an event or a company is not enough in my next 50 years if I still live for 100 years. So there has to be a meaning, a purpose, which I didn't have in life. So a lot of things now has changed. I act like a connector or an enabler. I'm on the board of Singapore Indian Chambers and Commerce. So anybody who wants to do business development marketing, we help them with that. Apart from that, of course, women empowerment is a big favorite topic, and you can see here we call diversity inequality, but hardly I can count 6 women or 7 women in the room. So that also has to change. But we all have to help each other. So thanks to Santosh and Anandji, I would really say that once again, they have lived to the tag that ladies first, so they gave me an opportunity. Dhanyawad त्याच्यासाठी. आणि माझ्याकडनं जे काही होईल for Garje Marathi, I'm on it always with passion and with whatever hard work I can do. And most important, I would like to say, such networking events are important. But what I have learned in my life is, आपण वडापाव खातो, कॉफी पितो, हाय हॅलो म्हणतो, पण सगळ्यांची ओळखच होत नाही. सो लेट अस ऑल ॲटलीस्ट टेक एन एफर्ट. लेट्स ईच वन exchange our cards and like what Anandji said, we should know what each one is doing so that आपल्याला कधीही एकमेकांची म्हणजे फायदाही होईल, मदतही होईल किंवा वॉट एव्हर ग्रुप. आय एम शुअर दॅट इज गर्जे मराठीज टॅगलाईन. वन्स अगेन थँक यू फॉर द सपोर्ट.